I got my Doomsday Ark mask and ready for some base coats. I want the application of these coats crisp like the paint job on my Lincoln Town Car. So to do this, I'm going to break out my airbrush. I'm going to start by undershading these parts with a mix of purple and black speed paints. I add some medium into my airbrush first, and then these paints in a 50-50 split. I test the paint on my glove to make sure the airbrush is working properly, and to make sure the color looks like how I want it to look. Speed paints are nice to use in an airbrush since they are already pretty thin, and will have an easier time going through the airbrush compared to traditional acrylics. I add medium just to thin it down a little more, because I want to go over the metal with light passes of color. The reason I'm doing this is not to completely cover the metal underneath, since I want it to shine through. If you aren't painting over metallics, and don't care about the metal shining through, you can use most speed paints directly from the bottom. Once I'm happy with the undershading, it's time to move to the main color for this death boat, purple. After I clean my airbrush, I get to work spraying this over the top and sides of the ship. Again, I thin the paint a bit more to work in light passes to keep the metal underneath shining through. I'm also avoiding spraying underneath entirely to keep the undershading color I sprayed earlier. On the sides, I do a few less passes with the purple to create a nice transition between this purple color and the black-purple undershade. If you don't own an airbrush, I also want to note that all of this can be done with a regular brush. Just work fast over the flatter panels to avoid pooling, and do some more layers to get full coverage. Once I'm content with how saturated this purple is, I satin varnish over all this hard work to keep the thin layers of paint protected for the brushwork to come after this. And with these pieces varnished, my base coats are bada bing, bada boom, finished. This paint job is looking clean, and this Ark is going to devastate the battlefield. After I finish assembling it, of course. Stay tuned.